accidentally bite your tongue, it is hard to see pain as something possible. The same goes for a blister on your big toe. Who needs a flopping foot? But what if you felt no pain? How often would you bite off a piece of your tongue or burn your backside in the bath? Physical pain is a marvelous alarm system that prevents further damage. It tells us you better change what you are doing. Emotion pain gives us a similar message. You had better change how you are thinking. It is normal to get angry or jealous or a bit resentful temporarily, but if those feelings become permanent, the message may be: don't expect to control other people. Don't expect other people to behave like you. Don't depend on other people to make you happy. While we keep thinking the same thoughts, we keep feeling the same pain, and then we say, but I'm right. Unfortunately, being right doesn't help. A blister on your foot is a message to change your soul. With emotional pains, which feels like a blister on the brain, the message is usually to change your thinking. In a nutshell, when with both physical and emotional pain, when we keep doing the same thing, it keeps hurting. Patterns. Some people are always broke. They win the lottery, and before you know it, they need a bank loan to buy a hamburger. Some people are always late. They can get up at 5 a.m. to be at work by 9 a.m. and then 10:15 they're still sweating the house for car keys and brush their teeth. Some people make friends wherever they go. Some people make money wherever they go. Some people always get sick on occasion. Why? Because we have subconscious patterns of behavior. Most things we do without thinking, as with breathing or driving a car. We spend all our gas automatically. We make ourselves leak automatically. Now here is the good news. You are not your patterns. You can change your subconscious habits with visualization and mental rehearsal. Professional sports people all use visualization. Why? Because our brain cells can tell the difference between a real and an imaged experience. When we visualize perfect behavior, we program our brain cells for better performance. It's easy. You simply close your eyes, take some deep breath, and relax. Play mental movies of your performing perfectly. Practice your golf swing in bed. Rehearse your public speaking on the bus, but in your mind. Regularly picture yourself as organized, confident, or performing at your peak. Over weeks and months, you will notice the difference. It is simple, unsolved, less taken, and it works for anybody. In a nutshell, no one has to stay stuck. If you're serious, you can change all pattern. Self-talk. I knew a guy called Peter. He was forever telling people, everything I earn goes to pay bills. He was like a barber, and no surprise. He was always broke. Your language restricts your life. If you tell people you're always broke, you will likely stay broke. If you expect to forget, you will forget. If you expect to behave like an idiot, image a boxer stepping into the ring and telling himself, I am a loser. keep my mouth shut. It is something hard to control our thoughts, but we can control what comes out of our mouth. Once we take control of our language, we begin to have more positive thoughts and life gets better. We become what we think about. Your mind is a magnet. How often do you bump into old friends in unlikely place, learn a new word, and suddenly you see it everywhere? How man autumn and then hear it on the radio. How often do you think that someone and seconds later they phone you? Constance, not really. Your mind is a magnet. Happy people attract other happy people. Positive thinkers attract opportunities. Attract gold. Force may be invisible, but they are real things, just like electricity or gravity. And thought energy obeys natural laws. If radio waves and TV signals can travel huge distance through bricks and constant, why not force? Your brain is at least as amazing as any TV transmitter. 1,000 books have been written on the power of thought. How many constants do we need to get the message? If you read enough about going broke, it will happen. If you worry enough about getting sick, it will happen. Picture yourself surrounded by the true friends, and you will find them. Picture success. Why set goals? Sometimes we pick up the newspaper and read where a mother of three had just rode across the Atlantic in a bathtub, or we read about an accountant who is riding a army from Calcutta and Casablanca. We may ask ourselves, why not take a plane? The answer to that is, if you travel by boat or camera, you arrive a very difficult person to the one who left. Not only do you reach your destination, knowing a lot more about stars and wind and navigation, you know a lot more about yourself and about your own courage and capabilities. Buying a plane ticket doesn't have the same effect. When you set yourself a goal to run a business or a marathon, when you set a goal to get a degree or a promotion, or to learn Chinese, you arrive a different person to the one who started. That's what goals are really about. What they make of us in the process of achieving them. That's why your neighbors and your brother-in-law may not understand this concept. So they ask you, why try so hard? Why aim so high? The answer is, for what we become in the process. We set goals not for what we get, but for what we become. Wishing for things. Lots of us use visualization to achieve goals. It's where you choose a goal and then continue to image yourself with the goal already achieved until you actually achieve it. Whether you want to lose weight, gain confidence, or get better at anything. Experts agree that visualization works as you think, so you become regularly picturing success and putting in the necessary effort as results. So we may ask, why not just wishful think? Isn't that similar? No. Visualization means you choose a goal, a fat stomach, and interesting job, a dream of lifestyle. You picture your goal already achieved in the present moment. This image becomes fixed in your subconscious. You become as risk, so you become frustrated. Commitment. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy committed to put a man on the moon. Before this decade is out, he had no idea how it would be done, and also didn't know how either. A million technical problems have to be solved. What kinds of rockets, engines, landing craft, spacesuits, underwear do you take to the moon? Do all the astronauts go straight to the moon, or do you leave a guy in a command capsule in lunar orbit? And if you get to the moon, how do you make sure you don't land in home? How do you get home? And where do you find $2 billion to pay for the trip? The Americans solved each problem one by one, and in July 1969, the world was the Neil Armstrong take that first giant step. The Apollo project was like any successful project. Your commitment is the glue that holds it together. First, you commit heart and soul. Then you solve the problems one at a time. If you want to build a business, you first commit to it, and then you figure out how to get the customer. If you want to write a book or get a degree, you commit to it, and then you figure out how to finish it. The same goes for a marriage. You commit to it, and then day by day, you figure out how to make it work. You start without all the answers and without any guarantees to achieve any worthwhile goal. You first decide, I will do this, whatever it takes. A track record. I know a fellow who is forever trying to clean $1 million deals, but his big deals never happen. Meanwhile, his car is falling apart, and even his dog is getting him free. Why? He never learned to clean $100 deals. He never developed the habit of succeeding. You first learn to catch little fish, then big fish. The Law of the Sea. The first book I ever wrote was a children's book. I have heard that getting a book published can be tough, so I got the address of 60 children's publishers, make 60 copies of my manuscript, and sent them all over the world. I felt really smart. I thought, worst case scenario, I will get 50 rejections and then choose from the rest. Guess how many rejections I got? 61. One publisher wrote to me twice. So I wrote another book and sent that one out to publishers, even though someone said yes. If we really want to make something happen, we usually need to try more than once. It is a principle of nature. Let's say an apple tree bears 500 apples, each with 10 seeds. We may say, there's a lot of seeds. Why would you need so many seeds to grow just a few more trees? Because small trees never grow. In your life, this principle may mean you will need to attend 20 interviews to get one job. You will interview 40 people to find one good employee. You will talk to 50 people to set one house, car, vacuum cleaner, insurance policy idea. And you may need to meet 100 people to find a good special friend. understand them and work with them. Successful people fail more often, they plant more seeds. When things go wrong, remember, it is not what happens to you that matters most. It is how you think about what happens to you. Let's say that you are at the airport, waiting to catch a flight, and the airline tells you, sorry, mechanical problem, you won't be leaving for 3 hours. This is terrible, this is a disaster. While you remain strict, things will get worse. People will trip over you, spill coffee in your lap, and lose your baggage. When you fly like always win, then finally you go down, you tell yourselves, there is nothing I can do about it. I will make the most of it. Suddenly, everything changes. From nowhere, an old friend appears, or you make a new friend, or you stumble on the first opportunity and life begins to support you. Once we train our thoughts about a bad situation, we can take advantage of it. Life's great opportunities mostly arrive. If you ask your neighbor, what would you give you peace of mind? He may tell you, a vacation in Bermuda or an extra $100,000 would give me peace, or a new Ferrari would make me content. But going place and getting stuff is usually a temporary solution. Let's say you buy a lottery ticket and by some miracle you win your dream Ferrari. Today you are content. Tomorrow you are saying, if I just catch that little bug or scratch it in the car park. Peace of mind rarely comes from getting more stuff. Getting more stuff usually leads to wanting even more stuff. Peace of mind starts with being grateful for what you have right now. Gravity is power, and here is why. When you are thankful for what you have, for the friends you have, and for the things you have got, you attract more good people and good things. People always complain about what they have. Complainers attract more things to complain about. It is a law of life. It is hard to explain, but you can also eat and watch you. We get more of what we dwell upon. That's why all the spiritual masters have taught the same lesson. Start by being thankful. Be happy with what you have now, and more will come to you. It's medical advice. Every time you say a silent thank you, you become more peaceful and more powerful. Relationships are tricky. The strategies we think don't work. The strategies we think won't work to work. Impressing people. When we try to impress people by proving that we are clever or rich or cool, people can see through us and then we look silly. We usually impress other people when we aren't trying to. That's why babies and animals are very good. Really old people are so appealing. They don't care what you think. They are perfectly natural. Chasing people when we chase girlfriend, boyfriend, even dogs. They run away. Why? Because we are chasing them. When we try to trap people in relationship, they can't wait to escape. When we let go of people, they often come back. Helping people. When we try to help others, children, friends, employees by solving their problem, they become dependent on us and even lazy. The more we help, the less they do. Mostly we help people by not helping too much, getting people's attention. When we are desperate to the hurt we solve at people, and the louder we solve, the less they hear. Strangely, the opposite works. We such a thing as trying too hard. Compliments